Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive into what your kids are learning at KOEIGO STEAM and Language School.
Absolutely.
We're going to be focusing on the 3D design course at our OCSI branch today.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, some of these projects are pretty impressive.
Oh, they really are. It's amazing to see what the kids are creating.
Yeah?
Some of them are building on their articulating dragon designs from last week,
Huh.
and some of them have jumped into designing these incredible castles.
Wow.
It's really showcasing their imaginations and their growing mastery of nomad sculpt.
So for those of us parents out there, who haven't spent a lot of time in the world of 3D sculpting, what is it that's so beneficial about kids learning this?
Well, what's really fascinating about it is that 3D design acts as a bridge between abstract thinking and then tangible creation.
Hmm.
So it's not just about the technical skills. When a child visualizes, say, a dragon's wing and then figures out how to build it digitally, they're exercising their spatial reasoning, their problem solving, and even their understanding of geometry. And those are skills that have a ripple effect across so many areas of their learning.
It's almost like they're learning a new language, but instead of words, they're using shapes and forms to communicate their ideas.
Exactly. And you see this playing out in the classroom this week. The focus was on using radial symmetry and curve tools.
Oh.
And it's been incredible to watch them apply those techniques to their dragon and castle projects.
So can you give me for instance, I remember struggling with geometry in school.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine trying to master that in 3D.
Well, think about a dragon scales, right?
Okay.
Instead of sculpting each scale individually, which would take forever, the kids are using curve repeaters to create one scale and then duplicate it along the curve of the dragon's body.
Oh, wow.
So they're creating these complex patterns efficiently, and it gives their dragons this beautifully organic, almost lifelike quality.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What about the castle designs? How are they using it there?
Well, one student used radial symmetry to design a circular tower with this repeating pattern of bricks. And it's fascinating to watch them take basic shapes like a sphere or a cube and use these tools to transform them into something so intricate and detailed.
So they're really developing a whole design sense.
Precisely, and that's what's so exciting about 3D design for kids.
Yeah.
It's a gateway to so many possibilities, and it's empowering them to be creators, not just consumers of technology.
Okay, so we've touched on the skills that kids are building. But what about the software itself? Can you tell us a little more about Nomad Sculpt?
Yeah.
I'm guessing most parents out there aren't familiar with it.
Yeah, Nomad Sculpt is a fantastic platform for beginners.
Okay.
It's very intuitive and user-friendly, but it's also powerful enough to handle complex designs. You'd be surprised how quickly children pick it up. It's like they instinctively understand how to navigate a 3D space.
I think we've all seen that kids today just have this affinity for technologies, like they pick up new gadgets and software so quickly.
That's right. And one of the things we encourage in the classroom is experimentation. We want them to play with the tools, make mistakes, and figure things out for themselves. That's where the real learning happens.
So they're not just following step-by-step instructions, they're encouraged to explore and be creative.
Absolutely. We might introduce them to a concept like radial symmetry,
Right.
but then we let them loose to see what they can do with it, and the results have been remarkable.
I love that. So it sounds like you're really fostering a growth mindset in these kids.
That's the goal. We
Yeah.
want them to be confident in their abilities and embrace challenges as opportunities to learn and grow.
That's such an important message, and it's really inspiring to see it being implemented in such a creative and engaging way.
Yeah.
I got to admit, I'm getting a little jealous of these kids. I wish I had access to this kind of technology when I was in school.
I know what you mean. I'm learning right alongside them.
Yeah.
And it's been incredibly rewarding.
Yeah. I bet. So we've covered a lot of ground already, but there's still so much more to explore in this deep dive. So why don't we take a moment to recap what we've learned so far, and then we'll jump right back in.
Sounds good. So we talked about the why behind 3D design for kids and how it strengthens, those critical thinking skills
Right.
and opens up those new avenues for creativity. But let's shift gears for a minute
Okay.
and
Yeah.
talk about what this looks like from a parent's perspective.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we can talk all day about the theoretical benefits, but what are some practical ways that parents can support their kids in this learning journey?
Well, I'm so glad you asked that.
Yeah.
It can be as simple as showing genuine interest in what they're creating.
Uh-huh.
Ask them about their dragon design,
Hmm.
what challenges they face when building that castle tower.
Right.
Even if you don't understand all the technical details of Nomad Sculpt,
Right.
you can still engage with the creative process.
So creating a space for them where they feel comfortable sharing their work and their passion.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of simply listening.
Yeah.
When a child is excited to share what they've learned, that enthusiasm is contagious.
Right.
And it reinforces their love for learning and encourages them to keep exploring.
I think a lot of parents, might feel intimidated by the technology.
Yeah.
It's easy to feel like we're out of our depth when our kids are already so tech savvy.
I understand that feeling, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
You don't need to be an expert in 3D design to be a supportive parent.
Right.
Your role is to encourage to ask questions and to celebrate their achievements. You're learning alongside them.
So instead of feeling intimidated, we should see it as an opportunity to connect with our kids and discover something new together.
Absolutely. And who knows, you might even find yourself getting hooked on Nomad Sculpt. I've seen it happen.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm already feeling inspired to give it a try. But beyond the immediate joy of creating, what are some of the longer-term benefits that parents can look forward to as their kids develop these 3D design skills?
Well, what's fascinating here is how these seemingly niche skills translate into real-world advantages.
Okay.
So the problem-solving techniques that they're honing in Nomad Sculpt can be applied to anything from, building a Lego masterpiece to tackling a challenging math problem.
Right.
The spatial reasoning that they're developing will help them excel in fields like architecture, engineering, even surgery.
So it's not just about creating cool dragons and castles. It's about equipping them with skills that will benefit them throughout their lives.
Precisely. And let's not forget about the boost to their confidence.
Yeah.
When a child masters a new skill, especially one that's as technically challenging as 3D design,
Yeah.
it does wonders for their self-esteem and their belief in their own abilities.
I like they're unlocking a new level of creative potential.
Exactly. And as parents, we get to witness that transformation firsthand.
Yeah.
It's an incredible privilege.
It really is. And I think it's important to remind parents that, this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
As technology continues to evolve, the possibilities for 3D design are endless.
Imagine a future where our children are designing prosthetic limbs,
Wow.
or creating sustainable housing solutions, or even building virtual world that we can explore.
It's mind-boggling. And these skills that they're learning now are laying the foundation for those future innovations.
Precisely. They're not just learning how to use a software program.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
learning how to think in 3 dimensions, how to solve problems creatively, and how to bring their imaginations to life.
It's like we're giving them the keys to a whole new world of possibilities.
That's a beautiful way to put it, and I think that's what makes this journey so exciting, both for the kids and for the parents who are supporting them along the way.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's leave our listeners with a final thought to ponder.
I love it. Go ahead.
So as parents, we're always looking for ways to, nurture our children's passions and equip them with the skills they need to thrive.
Yeah.
And what we've discovered in this deep dive is that 3D design isn't just a fun hobby.
Right.
It's a powerful tool for learning and development.
Absolutely. It's a gateway to a world of creativity, problem solving, and, technical mastery.
Yeah.
And as we've seen, the skills that they're developing in Nomad Sculpt have applications that extend,
Yeah.
far beyond the digital realm.
So to all the parents out there listening, we encourage you to embrace this journey alongside your children. Ask them questions, celebrate their creations, and maybe even, try your hand at 3D design yourself.
Yeah.
You might be surprised at what you discover.
You might even find yourselves bonding over a shared passion for building dragons and castles. Who knows, maybe you'll even collaborate on a family project.
That's a great idea. And remember, this is just the beginning. The world of 3D design is constantly evolving, and the possibilities are limitless.
So let's nurture those creative sparks in our children, and who knows what amazing things they'll create in the years to come.
That's a wrap on our deep dives into the world of 3D design for kids. We hope you enjoyed the journey and gained some valuable insights along the way.
Until next time, keep those creative sparks flying.